So today we're back with a rebuild. Sorry, no video yesterday. If you guys check on Twitter, you know why I wasn't uploading. So we're back with another rebuild. We're doing the Mets, the team that won the poll last time. And if you guys want to know which team we're going to do next, go check the poll in the top corner and vote for the video. With that being said, I've been slacking on uploads. I've been promising you guys double uploads, so I will 100% double upload tomorrow. There's no like goal, but I do want to show you something that may end up having you drop a like on this video. So a lot of you guys have been asking for which roster am I using? Have I found a good roster? Well, let me tell you something. I've come up with my own roster and I have put a little bit of work into it. I've updated some positions, some ratings and things like that, some potential here and there, and we have a rating in the vault. So if you go to the vault, you go to search, and if you search by online username and you just type in Ortiz, guess what will pop up for you guys? Yes, we have a roster. There's already been some downloads from you guys, and I haven't even announced that I've put a roster in the vault. So I literally just put it on Twitter. I'm showing you guys now in this video. We have a roster for you guys to use, updated positions, updated rosters, potentials, all that stuff. If you guys have any concerns, you guys think I'm missing a player or this should change, that should change, you guys can see on the screen. Go to my Twitter handle, go shoot me a DM, let me know that I'm missing a player or some potential's wrong or some rating or something's wrong. You guys can let me know any changes on Twitter, and I will be updating this roster as we go throughout the year. So that's out of the way now. If you enjoyed that, you know that you're gonna start using that roster. Go hit that like button down below. With the release of the roster, let's go big. Let's see if we can get this video to 700 likes. So we are doing the Mets, and I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, thumbs up down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon. Go ahead and click it, and you'll be notified whenever a video does go live. And in the comment section today, I want you to tell me, who do you think is going to be MVP this MLB season? If we have an MLB season, of course. So here we go, the New York Mets. I'm really excited about this one. I almost forgot the name, the New York Mets, because that's who we're rebuilding today. But let's get into it. We're going to be doing the Mets, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys missed the last video, I'm going to put a link to it on screen now. Make sure you do vote in that poll as well. And that's about it. Let's hop into it. So let's take a look at the roster here. We got Jacob deGrom, Syndergaard, Stroman, Steven Matz, and Rick Porcello. To be honest, I'm actually pretty happy with the starting pitching. I think we're in a good spot. Not many changes need to be made. We have Jacob deGrom, who's the best pitcher in baseball anyways. Dylan Betances, Seth Lugo, both really solid options out of the bullpen. You got Justin Wilson, Juris Familia, Paul Sewald, and then Brad Brock. Again, bullpen's not terrible. And then Edwin Diaz as a closer. Realistically, I feel like this is probably a good pitching setup to begin with. Not many changes need to be made. Catcher Wilson Ramos, we're fine until his contract runs out, and then we'll try to find someone else. First base, Pete Alonso, one of the best first basemen in baseball already. I think we're in a good spot with him. And then when you look at Robinson Cano, Jed Lowry, oh man, probably gonna have to get rid of him. We got Jeff McNeil at third. We have Ahmed Rosario at short, which we're fine. Yoenis Cespedes, and then JD Davis in the outfield. Is Cespedes' contract? Oh, it is. It is updated. I completely forgot to check that when I did the roster. Jake Marisnick in center, and then in right we got Conforto and Nimmo. The thing is, I might move one of them to center until like Cespedes and Cano get hurt, because then we could, or Cano and Cespedes retire, because then we can move Nimmo to left, keep Conforto in right, also known as me. Yes, I am Michael Conforto. We can find a true center fielder. We can move JD Davis back to third, and then Jeff McNeil to second. I know it's a lot of moving around of pieces, but you'll understand what I'm doing once we figure out the lineup. So with that being said, not many changes. I definitely like the team where it's at right now. Just a couple, maybe like one or two trades, see what we can do, and I'll catch you in a bit. So the first trade we're going to make is for Scott Oberg and Raimel Tapia. I know it's not his name, it's Tapia. But basically what I'm looking for is just a little bit better of a relief pitcher. And then on top of that, get rid of Jed Lowry's contract. Plus that's $4 million. Scott Oberg's contract's not that bad. We're also trading Brad Brock and Steven Gonzalez. So after that one trade, that's going to be it for season one, because I want to see how the team performs, and then we can definitely adjust the squad as needed. Here's starting rotation. Here's the bullpen. And then obviously the lineup is going to look somewhat like this. Nimmo or Conforto are going to be in center. JD Davis is going to play left. Yoenis Cespedes is going to be more of a DH. I expect him to drop off pretty hard in rating along with Robinson Cano. And then we have Tapia, who's probably going to be that backup outfielder for us throughout this entire rebuild. Possibly move him into the starting center field spot and then move Nimmo to left, JD Davis to third when Cano retires along with Cespedes. So budget wise, we are kind of tight, sitting at around just under 500,000. So we'll have to wait and see how this goes. We do have quite a few free agents coming up, so I definitely think we're going to open up some money. So we'll have to figure out what we can do with that, where we're going to spend it and whatnot. So let's see how season 1 goes. I'll see you once we get our draft picks done. All right, so we have our draft picks and a couple good ones. I've already taken a little peek, but there's a couple players I want to show you that I just missed out on in the draft. So the Cubs had the pick right before me, and they snagged up the second baseman, and I was pretty upset because I had my eye on him 100%. Pedro de Jesus. Good speed, good fielding, good contact stats already. 75 overall with 91 potential. He looks insane. Another player that was a really solid pick that I did see was Carlos Valenzuela. He looks insane. 63 overall with 98 potential. And then I'll show you guys our picks. Our first pick was Edwin Hopper, one of the better closers that were available, 65 overall. 91 potential, looks amazing. Charlie Green at 18 years old, already 71 overall with 86 potential, looks pretty solid. And then you guys can see a couple bad picks. And then Johnny Blumenthal, who's only 58 overall, but 86 potential. I was kind of hoping he was a little bit higher rated, but at least we have an okay catcher to look forward to. Overall, the rest of the picks, not terrible, but 3 solid ones, especially these first 2. I really like them. Season 1's in the books, and it went pretty solid. Almost 100 wins, 99 and 63. We won the division. All right, we'll take it on the Reds. I like to see that. So let's see how it went. Won the division by 12 games. We're 3rd in baseball. Okay, I'll take that. You know, definitely a good place to be standing. We had the most home runs for Pete Alonso and RBIs, and then Jacob deGrom had the most strikeouts. So you guys can check out the league leaders for each category. Let me know some of your players that you've noticed have been really good in franchise. Like obviously Yordan Alvarez is one of those guys who's been very, very good, but who are some of the other guys you've noticed as well? Get in the comment section down below, as well as let me know who your MVP pick is. Let me know in the comment section down below. So definitely some interesting, you know, league leading stats, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. So here we are. Awards wise, Pete Alonso's the MVP, and then we have a gold glove for Wilson Ramos. So Yordan and Pete Alonso MVP winners. Garrett Cole, Kershaw, you got Yelich and Rendon, Colome and Dan Winkler, and then rookie of the year went to Shogo Akiyama and Yoshimoto Tsutsugo. So there we go. There's the awards, the league leaders, all that good stuff. Jacob deGrom doing Jacob deGrom numbers, absolutely insane, gotta love it. Noah Syndergaard, pretty solid season as well. I think it becomes a free agent this year, next year. So we definitely got to keep an eye on that. Marcus Stroman had a great year as well. If we can keep this 3-headed monster at the top of our starting rotation, we are going to be just fine. Steven Matz and Rick Porcello, really solid. I'll take that for sure. Michael Walker's still down here. We might be able to call him up next year, see if he can be that long reliever for us. Paul, why he had a good year. Why is his potential going down? Interesting. Looking at the rest of our pitching staff, Juris Familia did struggle. Probably going to let him go. But, Dellin Betances. You know what? I have faith. Dellin Betances is going to come back. He's going to, Edwin. Both of these guys, yikes. Don't want to see that as your 8 and 9 inning guy. You want to see a lot better from that. Raimel Tapia had a really good year, especially coming off the bench. I might, if Cano or Cespedes retire, I might throw him into the lineup immediately, because that might be a good player to just let develop and become our center fielder. And when you look at the rest of the season, Ahmed Rosario, obviously not the best of contact hitter. I might move him down a little bit in the lineup, but not a terrible season. Nimmo had quite a good season as well, 29 extra base hits. Jeff McNeil, almost 300 average. That's what he does. Good amount of home runs, extra bases. You know what? Solid year. Pete Alonso was MVP, so it makes sense that he had a crazy year. And then you got Conforto, myself, hit 41 home runs with almost a 300 average. Love to see that. You got Robinson Cano, who almost hit 300, so he didn't really decrease in rating as much as I would have expected. So still pretty solid. JD Davis, great year. Gotta love it. Wilson Ramos had a fantastic season as well. And then Cespedes is falling down a little bit. So we'll see if either of those guys retire and allow us to move our lineup around a little bit. So here we go. Reds, Mets, and we're facing elimination. It is season 1. So if we do get eliminated, like it did happen, I'm not going to freak out because we still have 3 seasons to build on the team. And the Dodgers defeat the Athletics. Ooh, the Athletics made the World Series. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So no, not Cano, not Cespedes, neither of them retired, but we do have a couple exclusive negotiations. I don't think I'm going to bring them back. I'd rather we use Conforto and Nimmo in the corners, Tapia in center, and then we can move JD Davis to third. Cano's going to continue to decrease, so I'm going to move him to the bench anyways. So I kind of like that idea. So exclusive negotiations. Let's send the money towards Stroman a little bit. See if he takes that. Dylan Betances. I'm going to do my like little sneaky option here that I do. 2-year deal, club option. Wilson Ramos. Who else is going to be available that's kind of glitchy as a catcher? Because like Wilson Ramos is good, but he might start decreasing. Let's pass on Wilson Ramos. Rick Porcello was solid as well, but I feel like we can get a better option. Justin Wilson, one of the better lefties that you can get. So let me bump it up a little bit, and that should be good enough to get him on the team. And then, to be honest, the rest can go. Maybe sign Michael Walker just as a little backup option. It's quite a bit of money, so we're definitely gonna have to use him this year. I'll even give him the player option. That's perfectly fine. So for arbitration, I've offered every single player here one besides Erasmo Ramirez and Chasen Shreve. And then when we take a look at contracts, I mean, looking at all these guys, I'm most definitely going to offer them to everybody. If I don't offer it to anybody, it's going to be a pretty low rated player. Free agency wise, we do need a starting pitcher, but it's going to be a 5. So I'm not like freaking out to sign one of these top guys. Bullpen, I thought our bullpen was really strong as well. So I'm not really in a panic to sign anybody. Really, it's just the catcher. And I see there's not too many good catchers here. So I might just sign like a little backup type option and then make a trade during the regular season and see what we can get. So here we go. Season 2 is coming up. Let's see what we can do. Still in the off season, but I want to get rid of Juris Familia's contract before we really try to acquire any players. I'm going to go for Tim Meza, a lefty. I feel like we needed a second lefty in the bullpen. He had a rough year last year, but hopefully he'll improve, get better, and have a rebound season. Juris Familia's contract's gross. Let's get rid of it. For season 2, we're making our first trade of the year, and we're going back to that catcher favorite, Omar Narvaez. I looked around, trust me, I tried so many different options, and the real one that I wanted was Wilson Contreras. And the only way I'm making this trade happen with the use of Robinson Cano was if I just was like throwing everything at them. So I mean, we could do this, get Wilson Contreras, lock him up to a long-term deal, have him be our catcher. Is that the move though? I mean, third base is probably going to be locked down by JD Davis. Shortstop, 100% going to be Ahmed Rosario. Ooh, that's so tough, man. Do we do this? I've changed my mind. We're going Wilson Contreras for sure. All right, so I signed Jake Marisnick, and I was looking at our budget, and we're really tight at just money. I mean, you look at it, we're going to have to try to bring back Syndergaard, Conforto, maybe Steven Matz. Like, we're in a tricky spot. So I definitely need to shed some of that contract money. Jake Marisnick for almost $4 million as a backup. Is it in real life a crazy amount of money? No, but let's just find someone that has a smaller contract that is going to be a backup. Juan Lagares, we're going to bring him back. He's a backup. That's all we need him to be. So yeah, it may not be an amazing pickup, but that's what we need. We just need a backup because we're in a tricky spot financially. So let me show you the changes that we've made to the team. Obviously Juan Lagares, we brought in Joe Panic, Aledmus Diaz, and Contreras through the trade. He was already signed to the team. Let's take a look, because I did sign a couple players, and now that I'm not, Henderson Alvarez was really the only one that I did sign because we needed a new 5, and I thought, you know what, he's trying to make a comeback in real life, why not give him a shot with the team? It's a $4 million contract. If he does well, we keep him. If not, We declined the option for the second year. Michael Walker, you know, the team looks solid. The team does look really solid. A player that I could also get rid of is Paul Sewald. His contract's not that big though, so I'm not gonna panic about it, you know. We do have a couple other options down here. David Peterson's a player who definitely needs to be starting, along with Luke Rennie. But we've got options that are coming up through the system that I'm like, ooh, those guys kind of are getting me excited, who potentially could be fives for us, you know, in the rotation. So we have those options. I think we're going to be okay pitching wise. It's just budget wise. We got to be a little careful because we're going to lose some players, and I don't want to lose those players. You know, like Conforto, he hits bombs all day. Losing Syndergaard would suck, and a couple other guys. So right now the team looks good. I think it's in a spot where, like, you let Nimmo develop, you let Dominic Smith develop, Tapia develop, JD Davis develop. Offensively, we're good. Pitching, we're good. We just need players to perform. Another one of those players who potentially could just get traded because they do kind of have bigger contracts, Dellin Betances and Edwin Diaz. Those are two players that have some good trade value as well, who we could try to get better players on smaller contracts. That's the team. Season 2, here we go. All right, so the season's coming to an end. We're sitting around, what, 95, 96 wins? 96 wins, 66 losses. We still won the division, taking on the Dodgers. Again, a pretty tough opponent. No league. Oh, we do have a league leader. He's just tied Seth Lugo for the most saves. No awards though. So we won the division by 7 games. So it does look like it's getting a little bit tighter in the division. We definitely need to step up our game a bit. Taking a look at league leaders. This is another player who kind of gets glitchy. Jesse Winker. He may not be like, oh my God, we got Jesse Winker. But let me tell you, he actually hits pretty well. Batting average looks decent. Hits, at bats, doubles. Acuna's up there. You got Story for triples with Tim Anderson. Home runs, Acuna's on top. It's looking like Acuna is going to be MVP this year for sure. Akiyama looks like he's really solid. Stolen bases. Walks, which are, you know, whatever, walks. Greinke was on top with Bueller. Losses were pretty low. You got saves for JB Wendelken and Seth Lugo, and then some pretty low ERAs for those starters as well. So, oof, some pretty interesting stuff. Here we go, Acuna. Yeah, MVP. Makes sense. I mean, he had a crazy year. Jordan, back-to-back MVPs, which is insane. Blake Snell and Walker Bueller, batting title. Both. Rendon just hits really well too. He's going to be hard to trade for, but if you want Rendon, go and get him. Reliever of the year was Arano and Wendelken. And then you got Shea Langlers and Alex Kirilloff as your rookie of the years. So as we look at our pitching staff, you guys can see Jacob deGrom, again, a very solid year. Syndergaard struggled a little bit, which is a little worrying. A 4 ERA. You know, don't want to see that. Same with Stroman. You don't want to see that either. Steven Matz. Ooh. Henderson Alvarez as a 5. That's not terrible. I think we can work with that. But, like, this is something that makes me a little bit nervous, especially with Steven Matz, who's coming into his contract expiring. We got to see better performances. Michael Walker as a long reliever looks like that's going to be a good spot for him. Tim Meza definitely had a bounce back season. Looks amazing. Scott Oberg let me down, man. Let me down. Might have to release him or trade him so we can open up some money space. Justin Wilson was really good. Edwin Diaz struggled. Dellin Betances struggled. So these are 2 guys I'll probably look to move in the offseason because we need better arms that are not going to cost that much money. So especially since we're already in a tight spot financially. So let me take a look because we did have a couple young guys who looked pretty solid. I don't think Luke Rennie's ready just yet. I'm pretty sure I changed that, but you know what? Edwin Hopper's looking decent. We might get him involved at some point. Ooh, Charlie Gray. Matthew Ryan, a couple other names to look forward to. Okay, we got some names. Hitters, though, not so much. We've kind of traded those all away. Looking at our bench, Aledmys Diaz was a pretty solid bench option. Juan Lagares wasn't terrible either. And same with Joe Panik. So we might just kind of keep those guys as our bench because they're pretty cheap options. Ahmed Rosario hit 31 home runs with 36 doubles. Even though that average is low, I will take that. Jeff McNeil, identical average to last year. Almost an identical season, actually. Yeah, he hit less home runs, but the doubles went up. So pretty similar season. Conforto with 28 home runs, 35 doubles, 278 average. I mean, still a very solid season. May not be as good power-wise last year, but still pretty good. Pete Alonso took a little bit of a dip, which is disappointing, but still a pretty respectable year, 33 home runs. Wilson Contreras, 282 average. Okay, 871 OPS. Definitely had a better year than he did last year. I want to lock him up as long as possible. JD Davis with 23 home runs, 23 doubles. I mean, the average dipped a little bit, but still pretty good power numbers. Raimel Tapia's only getting better. 35 doubles. Love to see that. 17 home runs. Pretty good year. Pretty good year. Dom Smith kind of cooled off a little bit. He played more too. Average went down. I guess he hit more home runs, had more doubles. He's in limited appearances, so I mean, it's kind of tough to judge him. And then Brandon Nimmo is slowly improving, so I like to see that as well. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the lineup. You know, definitely loving what I'm seeing. Even if players aren't getting good averages, they're still hitting good amount of home runs and RBIs and stuff like that. So the pitching staff was a little worrying this year. So hopefully we can get past that. Maybe sign some guys that'll help us out. So we swept the Dodgers, easy as you like. We're taking on our division rival, the Phillies. And let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can just make it to the World Series with ease. Because we got to either take on the Indians or the Astros in the World Series. So here we go. And we swept the Phillies. It's looking like we had a chip on our shoulder after some of those performances during the year. And we're feeling it. We're feeling good. So I think we go like... What? Jacob? Oh, no. Stroman. You know what? If we have to, let's give Henderson Alvarez a start because Steven Matz looks like he's struggling a little bit. So here we go. DeGrom, McCullers. Ooh, we took the loss. That's tough. Oh, Oberg, really? And we took the second loss? Oh, man, we're facing elimination already? It is season 2. So we'll sim it. If we get swept, we get swept. We did. Man, that's tough. But at least we made it to the World Series in season 2. That's a good start. I like what I'm seeing. We have an award as well. Playoff MVP was Ahmed Rosario. Okay. All right. Pitching wise, Alvarez got rocked a little bit. Our first 3 did very well though. And then looking at our bullpen, you know, some people did get rocked here and there. So, okay. Good place to work from though, because we definitely are looking like we're in the right spot. So let's keep moving forward, see what we can do with these exclusive negotiations. So we gotta throw him the money, unfortunately. But I mean, unfortunately, not really. It's Syndergaard. He's gonna require a lot of money. Same with Michael Conforto. Let's see if that's good enough. Those are 2 big contracts. Dylan Betances, I'm gonna decline it. I feel like we can get a better option. Steven Matz, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go of that. $2 million for that wasn't terrible. $2 million there is not bad either. And then I'm gonna offer Joe Panic another like 1-year deal for $2 million. Is nothing. It's nothing. Juan Lagares shouldn't want too much either. Let's just kind of do something like this. Again, not bad. So Henderson Alvarez, sorry bud, like you didn't have a bad season. Actually, does he want like less money? No, he wants more money. So let's let those 3 go. And let's move forward. Arbitration wise, I'm looking at the names here and I feel like, ooh, I might offer it to him so we can trade him. I think that's the thing we're gonna have to do with Edwin Diaz. And then these 2 guys, we'll offer it to him anyways, as long as they're on low offers. Contracts, we're gonna offer it to everybody as well. And then looking at our pitching or our pitching options for free agency, who didn't sign? Michael Conforto, dude, you're killing me. We definitely need to sign at least 1 pitcher. So, you know, someone down in this range once again, because there are going to be a 4 or 5. You know, Betances was let go, so we do need to bring in another relief arm. We might have to make a trade with that. But for the most part, I think the team looks really solid, and I think we're in a good spot. So for the 3rd season, this is my whole plan. Try to really strengthen that bullpen because there were a couple pitchers that really let us down. When I was looking for different options, you know, obviously Kenley Jansen's one. Archie Bradley doesn't look as good as he's been in past years. And then I saw Jordan Hicks. And yeah, his walks per 9's a little low. His control per 9's pretty low. 2020 was kind of a bad year. Last year only pitched 15 innings. I also looked at Giovanni Gallegos, who looks like he'd be really good. And I was looking at other options and I was like, you know what? We rarely trade for Jordan Hicks. We could also get Giovanni Gallegos. Both of them are, you know, almost identical, like kind of stats wise here and there. Like contract is about the same as well. Let's go Jordan Hicks. Let's give it a shot. I mean, I guess we're kind of trading for a similar player in Edwin, but we'll figure out, see how it goes. Next up, I'm going to go for Yohan Lopez of the Diamondbacks. Kind of a sneaky good player. Stats are really well-rounded. Contracts pretty friendly too. Really good seasons the last couple years. So we're going to go for him for Daniel Nunez, Michael Paez. And then Scott Oberg, again, trying to get rid of those bigger contracts that really didn't perform last year and see what we can get in further trades. All right, we brought back Steven Matz, but I realized, you know what, let's switch up the team a little bit more. I feel like we've kind of kept the team really the same for the last couple seasons. So let's switch it up. Let's go Daniel Mangden, a player who looks pretty similar in stats and ratings and stuff like that. You know, ERA has been pretty consistent for the last couple seasons. I like that Frankie Montas. Jesus Luzardo, I don't think is ready just yet. So for now, let's just go Steven Matz for Daniel Mangden. I think it's a pretty straight swap. So after all those changes to the pitching staff, this is what the team's looking like. Luke Rennie has come up from the minors, and then with Lopez being new, we brought in Jordan Hicks. Mesa's still here. Seawald's coming up from the minors. We got, I'm hoping Edwin just gets a huge boost this year, Edwin Hopper. And then we have guys like Matthew Allen, Charlie Gray. So we have a couple players to look forward to in the future. Our budget still looks pretty healthy, 1.3, the best we've had in this entire rebuild, which means we'll have money to pay Wilson Contreras, Brandon Nimmo, and then any other player that we really need to. When we take a look at the lineup, not much has changed here either. Really, if a player does bad, we're just gonna have to trade him and really try to push in season 4. Our bench is basically the same as last year, just the addition of Andres Jimenez, and outside of that, the team looks really good. I really like it. I mean, that's why I don't want to change too much. I just felt like pitching let us down last year. We're ranked first in pitching this year. We're ranked second in baseball overall. Let's see how season 3 plays out. All right, we're approaching the end of season 3, and it's looking pretty good. Pretty consistent throughout this entire rebuild with wins and losses. We should still finish around the mid-90s as long as we don't just tank towards the end, but it's looking like we're once again gonna win the division. 97 and 66. I feel like we've been in that high 90s range throughout this entire thing. We're actually taking on the winner of the wild card. So it's looking like, ooh, we only won the division by 1 game. But so yeah, so definitely getting a lot tighter in the division. But it's looking like we have the best record in baseball. The Twins and the Astros did, but for the National League, we had the best record. So here we go, looking at Oscar Mercado. Okay, league leader there, but we're looking at league leaders. I kind of cut myself off before I finished the statement, and at any point you guys need to pause it, go ahead and pause it, see who's up there on the charts so that you guys can maybe try to trade for one of these guys, because you see that they're doing pretty solid. So looking at this, you know, there's definitely kind of repeat winners. Lance Lynn. Ooh, Lance Lynn was a free agent for like the entire season, the off season, and I considered bringing him in just because he was sitting there for so long, but I obviously I didn't bring him in. Seth Lugo's up there as a save leader, which is good to see. I thought about trading for Jose Urquidy, but I decided to not do it. We have a gold glove for JD Davis. Lindor on the Braves. Ooh. JD Martinez. Cy Young went to Lance Lynn and Steven Strasburg. Yelich is on the Nationals now. Okay. You guys can see the league leaders or the reliever of the year. And then Joey Bart was the rookie of the year, and Wander Franco was the rookie of the year as well. Pitching rotation wise, ooh, Michael Wacha, great year. Yohan Lopez was fantastic. Justin Wilson struggled, probably going to look for a new lefty next year. Paul Sewald struggled as well. Tim Meza did well. I'm liking Tim Meza. So like these two guys probably going to look to upgrade them. Jordan Hicks. Oh man, let's go take a look at who was the other guy? Giovanni Gallegos. How did he do? Really well. Oh man. Dang it. But Seth Lugo was fantastic, so I'll take that for sure. Man, that sucks. Jacob deGrom had a fantastic season, outstanding. Noah Syndergaard got back on track as well. Marcus Stroman did too. So 1, 2, 3. Again, it's back to that 3-headed monster. Daniel Mangden was fantastic as well. And then Luke Rennie, at like the midway point of the season, he had a high 4 ERA. So he definitely turned it around the second half of the season, and I like to see that. We have Charlie Gray, the guy we drafted in the first year. He potentially could be our 5 if, one of these guys needs to go, or I don't even know. How are we going to get him involved? Same with David Peterson. It's going to be tough. We have some pitching options and not a lot of pitching availability, or openings, I should say. So our bench, Andres Jimenez was pretty solid. Aledmys Diaz was okay, but these 3 were pretty subpar. When you look at Ahmed Rosario, he's actually just turning into an insane hitter. 22 home runs, 33 doubles. The average is still going up, so that's what I want to see. We look at Jeff McNeil. He hit 300, which is, you know, kind of like his MO at this point. You know, what you expect from him. Solid season. Michael Conforto, the average may have dipped a little bit, but he's still putting up 100 RBIs and 36 home runs along with 41 doubles. I will take that any day of the week. Pete Alonso just continues to tank in average and power numbers. I don't like that. Wilson Contreras, 92 overall. Good year. You know, power numbers are still pretty similar to what he's been doing. The guy's just solid. Raimel Tapia is continuing to get better. Like that. Who would have thought a player that we traded that was like, what, 70 overall when we acquired him, or like 68 or something like that? And I said, you know what? Let's make him our center fielder. Look what happens. He ends up being a stud. Dom Smith kind of struggled. JD Davis hit 282 with 15 home runs. So yeah, maybe the power numbers dropped off in the home run department, but he still hit 28 doubles with a good 800 OPS. And Brandon Nimmo, 315 average. Got to move him up in the lineup. Just not sure where. There's a lot of good hitters in this lineup. Like I said, the budget's in a really good spot. I think this is the year we definitely win a World Series. So boom, that's a quick little sweep. We're taking on the Dodgers, who we did sweep last year, but obviously still a really strong team. So I don't want to get ahead of myself and say we're going to win when we could get swept. So we definitely got to make sure we get a good lead here in the series. One more win. Game 7 to take on the Twins in the World Series. We got to win this game. We can't get eliminated here. Ooh, Syndergaard on the mound. That's a good person to have there. Let's see how we do here. So Luis Garcia is their third baseman. Yerzy is their catcher, but it looks like a pretty standard Dodgers lineup. I mean, they kept Mookie Betts, which is insane. So hopefully we can get on the board early against Dustin May. Fielder's choice, that's tough. Come on. Syndergaard goes deep, gives us a 1-0 lead. He took matters into his own hands. Who would have thought? Thor swinging the bat. 3-1 ball game. That is insane. Ahmed Rosario goes deep as well. So I feel like all of our runs have come from home runs. So that's a good sign. We're putting up some power. 4-1 game. That's his last inning. We're gonna take him out here. They have, I think that's a pitcher on the mound, but we'll just go Aledmus Diaz. He gets out, unfortunately, but you know what? I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's go to our setup guy, Jordan Hicks, and 1 run scores, gets out of the inning. Okay, so yeah, 1 run did score, but we still have the 2-run lead. And heading into the 9th, we have our Mr. Reliable Seth Lugo. Boom, we're heading to the World Series, taking on the Twins. Noah Syndergaard. Who is this man? He's what? That's insane. So let's go like this, and we'll go like that for the World Series. Marcus Stroman's gonna take game 1 against Jose Barrios. We get an 11-2 win. We take an 11-5 win the second game, 2-0 the third, and to wrap things up, a sweep of the Twins in the World Series. That was big. That was massive. So let's take a look at our awards. Playoff MVP, Ahmed Rosario. World Series MVP, myself, also known as Michael Conforto. 467 average with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. And Ahmed Rosario, once again, playoff MVP, had a fantastic postseason. So awesome. Love to see that. For the most, okay, Mangden. But our pitchers, you know what? They Michael Wacha. But for the most part, everyone kind of did their job. These 2 guys kind of struggled. And I mean, we won the World Series. You know, you can't be too critical of what happened. Jeff McNeil, what? Cooled off. Wilson Contreras cooled off, but we got the job done. I mean, we won 2 games in the World Series with 11 runs. Gotta love that. So, World Series in season 3. So, I was actually thinking about Tim Tebow in the 4th year. Just as a meme, bring him up, see what happens. But he retired. Oh, man, that's tough. I really was going to put him as like a bench option for the squad, but unfortunate. So, Wilson Contreras is 100% a player I want to bring back. You know, he's been fantastic for us. Same with Seth Lugo. He's 100% someone that I want because, like, he's been unbelievable in that closing spot. Brandon Nimmo's another one. We're really going to be pushing it here with these contracts. And then the rest, he was really good. $4.5 million is not bad. And then I guess I'm going to let the rest walk just to be safe with the money. So let's keep moving forward. declined his option. That's the second time he's actually declined the option. I accidentally gave him a player option earlier in the rebuild, and he declined it earlier. How much money does he want? 5 million a year? That's what he's freaking out about? Just a little extra cash? Here, I'll throw you another player option that you're probably gonna decide. So here we go. Let's keep moving forward and see what happens. So arbitration wise, let's just throw it to everybody. It's the last year. Let's keep the squad intact for the most part. Contracts the same thing, and this is where it gets difficult because I saw Wilson Contreras didn't sign his contract, and neither did Michael Wacha. So if Michael Wacha doesn't, we can move one of these guys or one of the AAA options to long relief, and I think we could rock with that. And really, if Contreras doesn't sign, then we just get a catcher, because I feel like the teams in Seth Lugo didn't sign. We might be in trouble. I'll see you guys at the start of season 4. All right, so probably the only trade we're going to make this start of the season is for Dylan Floro. We're going to trade one of our pitching prospects who I think looks decent, but just not good enough to crack the starting lineup yet. So David Peterson is going to be traded for Dylan Floro, and this is our squad. It looks insane. I've decided to stick with these guys. I mean, do we want to trade Michael Wacha? He's been fantastic, you know, and then like our starters are really good, but I really want to get our pitching prospect involved. But you look at his stats, I don't think he's ready just yet. So it's one of those things where it's like he's really good, but he's not ready yet, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll leave it like that. We'll go back to the MLB squad. This is what we're looking like. Offensively, nothing's changed either because the team was way too good to begin with. I guess we could try to get another bench bat. We did bring in Adam Eaton and Drew Jackson, but like another power bat to be our DH whenever we need it. Because like you look at the team and it looks absolutely insane. Like it doesn't. I don't think it would matter how you ordered it because we're gonna score runs no matter what. So again, we've put together a scary good lineup. It's been insane this entire rebuild. I guess we could go crazy and just really stack the team, get a new relief pitcher. All right, so we're gonna go for Aaron Bummer. I know is a good lefty. We need a lefty in the bullpen anyways for Paul Sewald, Max Moroff, and Ali Sanchez. So there we go. That's it, dude. I mean, I don't know what else we could do with this team. This is insane. Like, I think if we got any better, I think it would be considered cheating. Like, this is unbelievable what this team is. I mean, when you look at our budget, we're still around $1 million, so we got money to like spend. And we definitely would be able to afford everybody that's becoming a free agent. So we're in a very, very, very good spot. So here we go. Season 4. Can we win back-to-back World Series? All right, here we are. Final September of the rebuild. We're going to win 100 games, which finally breaks that 90 wins that we've had. So this is insane. Like I told you, the team was going to be good to begin with. And it kind of proves my point. We're going to win 110 games. 111 with 51 losses, taking on the winner of the wild card. League leaders, we'll take a look in a second. We won the division by 10 games, our biggest gap of this rebuild, and we're ranked first in baseball. So when we look at league leaders, Conforto for base on balls, and DeGrom had himself a season. If he doesn't win Cy Young, I'll be very surprised. So here we go. This was a player I want to try to get for future rebuilds because he looks insane. Hunter Dozier looks insane. Every time I see him, he's hitting like 300 with 20 plus home runs. So he's definitely a player I need to look for future rebuilds because it's just one of those third base options that I could definitely pick up. So here we are. As we go through it, Conforto had the most walks. Mike Trout's up there. Let's take a look at wins. DeGrom had the most wins. Forrest Whitley. Did I see Stroman was right behind him as well? Okay. Daniel Mangden's down there with 13 as well. Losses. Stroman had the least amount of losses. Saves. Seth Lugo's still up there. That's all I want to see. There we go. Okay. I like seeing that. Awards wise, where do we get Cy Young, like I mentioned, and Delivery Man of the Year. So Soto was MVP along with Mike Trout. Garrett Cole and DeGrom were Cy Young. And then when you look at batting title, those are your two winners. Reliever of the Year went to Ken Giles and Seth Lugo. And then Rookie of the Year was JJ Bleday and Forrest Whitley. So, okay. All right, let's take a look. Oh, man, Jacob DeGrom is insane. So good. So good. Syndergaard, besides that 1 year where he hit a 4 ERA, everything else has been fantastic. Same with Marcus Stroman. Same year as Syndergaard. So we just had one down year. Everything else has been solid since. Daniel Mangden fell off a little bit, but you know what? Still pretty solid. And Luke Rennie's looking like he's going to be a really solid option in the 4 or 5 spot for us. So Michael Wacha still doing really well. Yohan Lopez had his first down year. Tim Meza, woo, yikes. Aaron Bummer was fantastic. Dylan Floro was solid. Jordan Hicks still struggled a little bit. And then you got Seth Lugo, who, I mean, he's reliever of the year, what, 2 or 3 times in this rebuild? So that kind of makes sense. The guy we drafted season 1, Edwin Hopper, just couldn't get him involved, unfortunately. Charlie Gray's up to an 80. I still don't think he's good enough just based on his per 9s. I think he needs at least another season in the minors, but still a pretty good year. Drew Jackson on the bench was fantastic, along with Adam Eaton and Ryan Cordell. It looks like, I don't remember having him up there, but I guess maybe the CPU added him to the squad. Jeff McNeil had another 90, another 300 average season. I looked at his overall when I went to go say average. A really good year, another 20 plus home run season, 20 plus doubles. Brandon Nimmo cooled off a little bit from last year. Maybe you need to be lower in the lineup. I don't know. Michael Conforto hit 300 with 35 home runs, 119 RBIs, and 42 doubles. Like, that's a gross season. That's insane. Pete Alonso's back on track, 42 home runs, 127 RBIs, and 28 doubles. You got Wilson Contreras, 272 average, 33 doubles, OPS just around the 800, a little low, but still pretty good. Ahmed Rosario, you know what? He's been consistent. I mean, he's been hitting around 260, OPS just under 800, but 50 doubles. Raimel Tapia, I mean, this dude, who would have thought, man? This guy's been insane for us. Like, when I say insane, I mean, when you're looking at like a 78, 79 rated player, he's been putting up really good numbers. And when you look at his attributes, you don't expect that from him. Like, those are good numbers. JD Davis has been solid for us as well. Only had 1 down year, and that was what, the 2nd season. Everything else has been solid OPS, solid home run total. And Dom Smith just really hasn't really been given a shot. But he's done the job. So I'll definitely take that. Overall, very, very happy with the team. And as we head into this last offseason, we're a game away from getting knocked out against a wildcard team, which I can't have that happen to me. I thought we broke that curse. I got to throw DeGrom on the mound, even though he's a little bit tired. They brought on the new Maddox, Mike Soroka. And let's see what we... Oh, really? He was thrown out going home? That's tough. And then Acuna goes deep. I mean, they already have Lindor on the team. They have Dylan Carlson, too. Like, that team's insane. No wonder why they've been kind of hanging around throughout this entire rebuild. Like, they're an insane team. Alonso went deep, tied the game up. So we need to do something here because DeGrom's getting tired, and we need to score some runs. We need to score some runs for sure. I can't push it. I can't push it. Oh, we got out of that. Thank God. All right, come on. Give us something. Can Floro give me one more? Lindor goes deep. Are you serious? Lindor went deep. And I understand I should have taken out Floro when I was for the hitter, but like I should have pinch hit for him. But I thought he was gonna give me one more inning. You know, I thought we would have still had another game or two. It comes down to this. We've got the good part of our lineup coming up. Luke Jackson comes in. We got knocked out by the wild card team. The curse is back. The curse is back. I guess I should have taken out Dylan Floro, should have pinch hit when the game was tied rather than trying to squeeze an extra inning out of him. But we just got eliminated. I mean, they won 101 games. Like, they were a good team. I know we won the division by 10 games, but they still won 100 games. Like, that's insane. You know, and they're the 2nd team in baseball. Like, that's a tough matchup, dude. Like, that's a tough matchup. Holy cow. I would have rather faced the Dodgers or the Reds, you know? Like, I would have rather had the second spot in the NL. So that's how it ends, guys. It's tough. It really is. We got knocked out by the wildcard team, but I hope you did enjoy this Mets rebuild. Again, I'm going to put a poll in the top corner at the beginning of the video. If you just click that eye icon now that's in the top right corner, it'll pop up again. Go and vote if you haven't yet. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And that's really about it, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified whenever whenever a video does go live. And in the comment section, let me know who you think is going to win the MVP if we do have an MLB season. Along with that, remember to check out the roster that I showed you at the beginning of the episode. That's the roster I'm going to be using going forward for rebuilds. I definitely will start tweaking it as I notice that like some potentials are off, the ratings and things like that. So we'll start to get new updates that I will let you guys know about when I come out with them. But that's about it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. Again, hit that like button and I'll put 2 videos on screen. Now go check them out if you haven't yet. That's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.